Community service versus linguistic self-interest. You know, are they really compatible? Can you complement them with our interests and their interests? And you know, as I said before, at best they may be complementary, at worst they may be in conflict. And finally is sociolinguistic honesty versus community authenticity. You know, the fact of the matter is we don't go into a lot of detail in terms of analytical procedures and quantitative analysis and so forth. And the question that comes up is, to what extent is it possible, ethical, to portray a unified picture of a vernacular variety? You know, the fact of the matter is, Ocracoke dialect is a construct. In reality, the speech of people in Ocracoke is all over the place. And every community, whether small or large, that we have worked in, is that case. And then the question is, you know, if it's not a realistic goal, you know, what are the alternatives? Thank you, and I think we have left a few minutes for questions. You can ask Ryan and Drew or me any questions that you might have.
Right, thanks very much for the wonderful presentation and for the wonderful work that you're doing. Unbeknownst to you all, I've been a secret admirer. I'm looking in from the field. I'm trained as a theoretical phonologist. So, John Rickford's work and your work have been inspirational to me in doing my field work, what I do. I don't want to tell a long story about myself. What I'm trying to say is, I think any person, any researcher doing field research in linguistics can benefit from your experiences and from the way you go into a community, from the way you behave in the community, and the results you provide for the community, and the way you leave a community if you ever do that. So, what I would like to say, I know I cannot speak for my colleagues, but from my perspective, what I would like to see is better, stronger, more elaborate cooperation between sociolinguistic researchers that do the type of things that you do, the community involvement projects, and everybody else in the field, say theoretical syntacticians, theoretical phonologists, and so on and so forth, so that we get the similarly positive results that you have in your work.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask Ryan and Drew a question. Would you share with us from your experience what was most notable or striking or difficult, whatever the case may be, when you first went into Princeville to start your research?
Well, as I said, I think the first thing was just that historical significance of the town is the first thing literally that you see, the sign, the historical plaque. And I think much later in the project, the difficulties or the things that you don't see right away are the diversity of such a town, especially being such an autonomous community, that you have a hierarchy, you have local politics like you do everywhere, and you have infighting, and you start to really see where you're aligning yourself unintentionally by speaking to some people and where they lead you, as Walt said, when you take a top-down approach like we did going into the town hall first. You get associated with the mayor and the people who did or did not vote for the mayor, and those types of things. Actually, I've located an unofficial mayor of Princeville who was leading kind of counter-factions. That's I guess part of any community, but that's definitely something I'm learning a lot more of as I go, and as I said, delicately trying to do that.
Let me just add one thing to that, on the basis of experience in other communities. We constantly and explicitly avow apolitical motives. You know, we don't want to get involved in the politics, for example, of the Lumbee tribe, where you have warring factions for leadership. By the same token, that's a lie. You know, by who you talk to, who you whose advice you take. Now, one of the things, you align yourself with people. What we've tried to do in the case of, say, warring factions, is to make sure that on our advisory panels, both sides were represented so that we aren't viewed as being aligned. But sometimes this is very difficult, and we insistently say, we don't care about the politics, we're not interested in the politics, but of course the fact of the matter is, we are involved in the politics of small communities. But we hope that by constantly saying it, they'll believe it and we'll get to believe it.
Quick question for Drew.
Okay.
This was your first?
Yeah.
Tell how you got started in this.
Come up here, boy. I gotta teach these kids how to act in public. They're still learning.
What do you mean, how in this particular project, or in Actually, I've just always been interested in movies. Documentaries are interesting to me, and as well as linguistics, of course. So this is one of the reasons why I came to NC State, actually, so that I might be able to sort of get involved in these documentary production projects. So this was just the first one that I had a chance to work on.
We have a full-time videographer, and part of his task is to teach graduate students how to edit. And he's a wonderful person. He's a great field worker, and he's also a marvelous editor and producer. Yes. So.
That being the case, you have something
I just
you
want
can
to
add?
plug Princeville one more time. If you're interested in more of the linguistic results that we're getting from the field site, we're presenting tomorrow morning the forum room. Tyler Kendall and myself, some preliminary results. I'm going to make sure I put my little commercial in.
There you go.
They are, however, competing with their mentor. So yeah, definitely go hear them.
We thank all three of you very, very much, and we'll take another second or two before we go on to the second half of our program, which will be equally exciting.